Hi, I'm Christian Brindle with Christian Brindle Insurance Services.
And I'm Glenn Shelton with Lead Heroes and Hire Heroes.
And this is Taco Tuesday. Let's talk about insurance. This is a show all about growing your business as an insurance agent and bringing you up-to-date marketing trends. We have great guests.
We have sales experts. We'll talk about all things pertaining to senior insurance and other lines of insurance. We're trying to help you grow your business, and we are excited that you are here to watch our content.
If you enjoy this episode, make sure to like the episode, subscribe to any platform that you enjoy to listen on, make sure to leave a 5-star review if it allows it, and we'll see you on the episode.
We'll see you in there.
This video is brought to you by none other than Hire Heroes, you guys. Hire Heroes is your one-stop shop when it comes to virtual staffing and making sure that you have qualified talent with your business. One thing that I love about Hire Heroes, you guys, is they've actually gone through the process already of vetting and making sure that your staff member is well trained to best fit your needs. Whether you need help with social media work, posting things on your accounts, responding to people that send messages to your social media accounts, whether you need help with data entry or a multitude of other things that they're qualified to do, Hire Heroes has got you covered. If you're having trouble finding quality talent and number two, affording to be able to run payroll for that talent, Hire Heroes has got you covered with an affordable alternative to have a virtual assistant working for your business. There's a link down in the description of this video to where you can learn more about getting your own VA through Hire Heroes. I certainly recommend it. They're what we use in our business for all of our virtual assistant needs, and you will want to make sure that you check them out today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Taco Tuesday. Let's talk about insurance. I'm joined with my co-host, Glenn Shelton, where we're talking about VAs.
Insurance.
We're talking about insurance.
We're talking about tacoing about insurance.
We're taco-bouting insurance. Today's episode, we got some stuff we got to share with you. Glenn is actually going to share his screen for those of you that watch the video version and show you something crazy about the topic in mind. We're going to be talking about VAs. We're going to be talking about Spanish-speaking VAs. We're going to be talking about artificial intelligence on this episode today.
Content marketing, all sorts of crazy, fun, cool stuff. And again, for those of you who are audio listeners, I will read what I'm showing on the screen so you can get an idea of what's going on. If you don't know what ChatGPT is, you might want to crawl out from the rock that you've been living under for the past 6 to 12 months. ChatGPT is really what we're seeing, the first entry-level AI technology that's open source, similar idea to Google, right? Where you can go to google.com, hit that search bar, it's going to pop up results, what they're finding on the internet. This is that same concept, but instead of an internet search function, it's actually utilizing a language learning model to spit out information in written form. Mm-hmm. And it's important to note, too, that it's not always perfect. Again, when similar to Google, sometimes you might search for something on Google and God forbid you don't get what you want on that first go, or it's like, oh, whoops, I accidentally spelled something differently, or Google's trying to guess and they guess wrong. It's really that same concept. I'm being very loose with my analogy here because I want to get the concept across for someone who's never seen it. It blows me away because there is a lot of people that still to this day, when I mention ChatGPT, they're like, what? They're like, what? Did you see the ChatGPT South Park episode?
I think I did. I'm trying to remember what happened. I know I did.
Stan's responding to...
Oh, wait, yeah, his girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw it.
He copies her text, puts it into ChatGPT to say, how should I respond to this text? And then ChatGPT spits back, and then the whole episode just escalates from there, all based around ChatGPT. It's freaking hilarious.
I love South Park.
Highly recommend. If you're into ChatGPT, it's a must-watch because it's hilarious. Anyways, Christian, before I get into anything else, though, what's been your experience with the ChatGPT so far?
So what I've learned is it is only as good as the questions it's asked.
Yes.
So you have to be very particular with how you word certain questions. You have to be very specific and detailed. The more detail you give it, the more it can do, which essentially, when you look at it from that lens, its potential is virtually limitless. You just have to not be, lazy ass and give it like really short answers. Be like, how do I build my business? What's going to be ChatGPT is like, okay, what business are you in? Like I need a little bit more,
Yeah.
but it can give you a business plan. If you're like, okay, I am in the insurance business. We specialize in Medicare plans. We specialize in life insurance plans. We typically get clients this way. We've been in business for this many years. This is our mission statement. Like, you give it like a good synopsis, it'll spit back like a business plan that you're like, damn, son. So that's been my experience of it. I think it's ridiculous tool.
It's fantastic for someone who's new to ChatGPT, or you haven't used it yet. Maybe you know about it and you're trying to think about how to use it. That is a fantastic intro that Christian just gave you guys. I think, again, it's similar to Google in that same way, right? To go back to that search analogy, like if you use specific keywords, it's going to jump you right to what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're super vague in what you're searching for, you're not really going to get what you want. And ChatGPT really functions in that same way. If you give it a lot of information, I've even heard someone say, and I wanted to try this and I haven't done it yet. I have a ton of blog articles on leadheroes.com/blog. Go check it out. But I have like over 40 sales blog articles specific to senior insurance. And I wanted to know if I fed all of those into ChatGPT and said, hey, this is how my writing style is. This is the topics that I wrote about.
Mm-hmm.
Could it spit something back out that would be on par? Because the failed way of doing it would be to say, hey, ChatGPT, write a 400-word article on how to sell Medicare insurance, right?
Yes.
That's gonna be a train wreck. You're gonna be like, who wrote this? Do they have a brain? Like, it's gonna be horrible. But if I fed, thousands and thousands of words from a licensed agent, right, who wrote it, and then into the machine, and then it spit, is it going to be able to sound like me? I don't know. I haven't done that yet, but kind of under that same pretext that you said, I think it would be close.
It's funny you mentioned that, because over the weekend I was literally on it experimenting with this. I was just not saying I would do it, but I was seeing if it could write me another book, like one chapter at a time. So I fed it like whole chapters, one by one, of my previous book, Superstar, so it could learn my writing style. Yep. And it was, and I just didn't spend enough time messing with it. I think if I spent more time messing with it, it probably could have gotten where we wanted to go, but it wasn't. It was struggling a little bit with it. And it probably was just because like I need to be more specific about what I wanted and what I wanted it to write about. But like, I think it definitely can do that. The thing is like, if you have it write you a book and you publish the book and you sell it, it's technically plagiarism.
No, it's not actually. I just saw that there was some law that recently got passed, and it's saying that any content that gets created by AI cannot be considered
plagiarism.
It's not IP to them, and AI is a machine. And again,
That's
I have a feeling like AI law, we're probably in like the infancy of AI law. We're probably going to see a ton of law, and I'm not a lawyer, God forbid if I need to say that, but I was literally reading last night on some sort of AI forum website. It was talking about how recent law is being interpreted that AI is a machine and any content it creates is not IP to the machine. So it's ChatGPT can't have ownership on your book if it helps you write a book.
Wow.
That's your book.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
I think it makes sense. Now, it'd be different if ChatGPT grabs someone else's book and it's word for word someone else's book. And this is where it does get dicey, because the newer version of chat can access the internet. And so if it grabs someone else's book and it's word for word their book, and then you publish it, but AI produced it technically, it's like that's where you could get into trouble for sure.
Let's jump into what you have in store to show everybody, because I think it's a great segue and transition into it. And so from my understanding, you're going to demonstrate the tool, right?
Yeah. So, I'm going to show you the output. I'm not actually going to open ChatGPT right now, but I'm going to show you articles that were created by ChatGPT. I want to preface this too by explaining, for those of you who don't know me, or maybe you're newer to the show, I have a giant virtual staff, mostly based out of the Philippines. 99% of my team is based out of the Philippines. I've got a couple people in other places, but one of the biggest, and I guess before I even mention that, I'll say I've had people come to me too and say, "Oh, Glenn, it's over." Boom, boom, boom. They're doing like the gotcha. I've had a few people do this. They're like, "Boom, AI's here. Pack it up, Glenn.
Bye, Glenn."
Boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, put the finger guns away. I'm like, first of all, it's always wild when that happens. I'm like, first of all, am I concerned? Yeah, I think we should all be concerned about AI, right?
Yeah.
Like, AI could replace all of us in some way.
Yes.
Do I think virtual assistants like what I offer today, do I think that that's going to be completely replaced by AI in the next 1 to 5 years? No, not even close.
Gotcha, Glenn. Gotcha. So you're saying that there will not be an app, a 10,000 app writing robot that will put us all out of business?
I think the
Patriot Insurance,
Patriot Robot Insurance, also known as PRI, I think it's further away than most people think, but
that's actually a badass agency name. Like you brand it with like a cartoon robot next to the logo. It has nothing to do with robots, but like it's Patriot Robot.
I know I really should. I want to start an IMO now. And it's just Patriot Robot.
It started as a joke like the Proud Boys. And
I'll wear like a robot costume and I'm just like on camera. I'm like, "Welcome to Patriot Robot Insurance."
You're like doing the robot.
Yeah. Okay. So but to get back to the point here. So AI is not replacing virtual assistants, not anytime soon, that I believe. Could be wrong. I'd say it's very likely virtual assistants are necessary for many years to come. I look at AI as a tool similar to Google search, where it's like, if a virtual assistant can get good with this tool, it could actually be really beneficial to their efficiency and their productivity.
Right.
They're great, right? So, and historically, when someone asks me, again, a question I get all the time is, "Glenn, I need content created. Can a virtual assistant help me create content?" Some content, yes. Basic content, repurposing content, maybe doing like graphic design, that type of content. Absolutely. A virtual assistant overseas can crush a lot of that. But when it comes to written content on specific topics, trying to get a virtual assistant, and I've tried before. I've tried hiring so many different people, thinking, if I just find the right virtual assistant overseas, I'm not talking about hiring a virtual assistant stateside. That's different. You can definitely find a virtual assistant stateside that could write something for you, but I'm trying to stay in my wheelhouse of overseas virtual assistants. And can I write content with an overseas virtual assistant? I tried many, many times and I gave up. I just didn't feel like, I feel like you can hear it when you read it. The same way you might hear a slight accent, even on the best virtual assistant overseas, you can hear it when you read it. So now I'm intrigued though. I'm like, ChatGPT. Okay, we've got a tool that can potentially help or even do all the heavy lifting for writing. So I'm going to share my screen. Cool. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Awesome. So Hire Heroes is the name of our virtual assistant platform. And we're looking, again, experimenting with what would blog content look like on Hire Heroes. And so I had a virtual assistant who, again, not super capable in the writing department, but explained a little bit about what I was looking for to the virtual assistant. And I said, let's experiment. Can we get a nice blog article? And then from the blog article, maybe we can repurpose it for social media content or email content, right? Starts with the bigger long form piece, then you can tear it apart for small form pieces. And I will preface this too, this virtual assistant, again, smarter than me. They actually took like SEO keyword research. So again, guys, I'll try to feel like I'm broaching too many topics at one time, but if you're writing a blog and you're trying to make it SEO effective, you typically want to hit certain keywords. So that way search engines like Google or Bing or whoever, it'll populate your content in the search engine. So we had already done some SEO content for hireheroes.com. So he took these keywords from Hire Heroes, he fed it the keywords. So, he gave a description of the company. He took the keywords, he fed it into ChatGPT, and then he explained to ChatGPT, can you write, I think it was 400 words. I don't know exactly how many words this is, but it looks like about 400 words. And as far as written content goes that I've seen from this right here in front of me, I feel beats most of the blog content that I've seen ChatGPT produce. And I'll read again, for those of you listening, I'll read a little bit of it so that way you guys can kind of create your own opinion and see. And this hasn't been edited at all. This is straight out of ChatGPT from the prompt. So the title is How a Virtual Assistant Can Help Your Insurance Agency. Running an insurance agency can be a daunting task with a never-ending to-do list and a constant stream of customer inquiries. Fortunately, virtual assistants, VAs, are here to help. Whether you need help with administrative tasks, customer service, or marketing, a VA can lighten your workload and increase your productivity. In this article, we'll explore how a VA can help your insurance agency and provide tips for finding the best VA for your needs. What do you think of that intro alone? What do you think?
I like it. I mean, it sounds terrific.
It sounds like a human wrote it, right?
Yes, it does. Sure does.
Yeah. Do you want? Should I read a little bit more? What do you think?
Yeah. Keep going. Do a little bit more.
Yeah. What is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant is a remote worker who provides administrative, creative, or technical support to businesses or individuals. They typically work from their own office or home, using their own equipment, and communicate with their clients via phone, email, or messaging apps. A VA can help with a wide range of tasks, including administrative tasks such as data entry, scheduling, and email management, customer service such as answering calls, responding to emails, handling customer inquiries, marketing such as social media management, content creation, and email marketing, technical support such as website maintenance, software installation, and troubleshooting. Another thing I'll note here for our audio listeners, this is formatted in I'd say a nice way. I hate long articles that don't have bullet points or they don't have paragraph breaks. There's indentions. It goes bullet points. Then there's a numbered list at the bottom of this article. If I were to write something, I don't know if I could, honestly, this is on par with me. You guys, so I don't okay, I take it back. The finger guns, whoever's been, maybe they did. Maybe they, it's over, buddy. Back it up. But it's a good thing that I'm getting fired in this case, because it means I don't have to sit down and write, because that takes so much time for me to write something like this. It would probably take me 30 minutes to an hour minimum to put something together, edit it, format it. This is easily 30 minutes to an hour. So, Christian, first thoughts looking at this, overseas VA connected to ChatGPT. You've never seen anything like this. What do you think?
I think it's very impressive. And I think it kind of comes back to the tool has no limits, like what we were talking about earlier. If it's used the right way, and if it's being asked to do the right things with enough information and detail, the sky's the limit to what it can produce. I think this is you cannot tell that a person didn't put this together. You can't tell. If you wrote up something yourself, let's say, you exit out of this, you type up something yourself.
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and and it would be very hard to determine which one was written by the human, which one was written by the machine.
And it's fascinating that they're trying to create and again, it kind of ties back to how we finished our last episode, but to try to catch people cheating in school, they're creating algorithms that these papers can be fed into so that way professors can catch kids. The problem is the algorithms that try to catch, they're not perfect. Sometimes they flag human written articles and they say it's AI, and sometimes AI written articles slide through as being human written. So,
right.
I mean, it's very close and hard to determine. Now, here's another article, and this one formatting wise, and I also just like a brief scan of it. I'm not going to read this one, you guys, but I don't think this article is quite as clean as that first article I was showing and reading. This one is, again, kind of talking a bit about Hire Heroes and a bit about what a virtual assistant is and why to use it. So this looks more like regurgitated content straight from the website. Whereas this first article that I was showing you guys, this isn't on the website, and it's formatted in a very nice way that I feel like I could probably take 2 images and slap it in here and then slap it on my website, and I think it would look nice. I probably will. You'll probably see this article. You'll probably see this article on hireheroes.com. This might be like one of our first blog articles that you'll see, and it came from a overseas virtual assistant who is not an English writer, who can speak English but doesn't, not designed to write in this way. The Filipino could not write this for sure, but utilizing technology, they were able to.
Yeah, I think it's wild. It's pretty eye-opening. What is your opinion on? Because one thing you always see, like if you ever when you watch YouTube videos, you read things about this kind of stuff. It talks about how using AI written content can hurt the SEO performance of your site if Google's algorithm can detect, right? What are your thoughts on that? What people that say things like that, for people that want to try to use this tool to build content for their website?
I think part of it is, so to be successful in utilizing this tool, don't approach it like it's a calculator where you can just type in 3 + 3 and you're going to get the right answer, and it's super easy. Like I said earlier in this video, you guys, I experimented similarly to how Christian has experimented, and at one point I did say something like, give me a blog article about how to sell Medicare insurance, and it was atrocious. It didn't, like, no insurance agent in the US would read it and get any benefit from it. But again, if you approach it more as like a clay that needs to get molded, where you might have to give it more information, you might have to do some editing once you get a blog that you like, and you realize that the core value of ChatGPT and some of these other AI software that we're seeing come out, the core value is saving time.
Right.
By saving time, you're more efficient and you can do more with less. The other thing I'll mention that I think was kind of mind-blowing to me, because this is all geared towards content creation, like you just said, look at some of the biggest content creators in the space. Gary Vee, and there's another one that they were specifically talking about, and I can't think of their name. But I read this article that was saying, you look at these really big content creators. You tell me, Christian, how much would you say someone like Gary Vee, how much money are they spending to generate the amount and quality of content that he generates? What would you guess?
I can't, I have no idea. Huge amounts.
It's got to be
Millions.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions per year.
Yeah.
Just to create content for social media, for websites. Like, it's got to be, right?
It has to be. Yeah.
So the idea is, as this AI software continues to develop, whether it's ChatGPT or something else, you'll be able to compete with these people. Christian Brindle will be able to take 50,000 and he'll be able to compete with someone who spent 500,000, because the 500,000 that person was spending, they have a video editor. They have someone who's doing the transcribing for the video. Someone else is writing the content. Like they have a whole content team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Christian has a couple of virtual assistants who learn how to use AI tools. And then Christian just has to maybe film some of the content. Bing, bang, boom. All of a sudden you're on, maybe it's not Gary V level, but you're playing in a whole different league all of a sudden.
Yeah. I think it's a great point. Like, one thing that comes to mind as you're talking is like the one VA we have now with our friends over at Hire Heroes. Get your VA today. But no, and in all seriousness, the one VA we have now, there's a process internally where, somebody on my team will take clips of YouTube videos that I've created and will send over instructions on how to post reels, YouTube shorts, TikToks, and kind of repurpose this content amongst plenty of other things. There was one that just went up yesterday. That was a short that got 731 views on YouTube. And the clip wasn't even that good. It wasn't even like
eyeballs.
It wasn't even the best thing that
right.
was, it wasn't even like the best thing that maybe I would have said in a video like that, but it did well. There's been certain clips on Instagram that have popped off, got 10 to 15,000 views, completely done by a VA. So to kind of think about the possibilities of adding AI into the mold of a process like that already is wild to think about the potential.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset. It's a mindset because again, I think the general mindset with AI is people are either approaching it like I've got to do it all myself, or they're looking at it like it's going to replace all of these people. And I think the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Again, from what I can tell you from a content internally, because I'm not Gary V, but I did spend a crap load of money on content over the years, just like I'm sure you have, right?
Yep.
Having a video editor that had to take 2 to 3 hours to really do all sorts of stuff. Because again, this is just ChatGPT we're talking about. Right. What's going on, you guys, is ChatGPT, the technology is open source and it's being plugged into all of these other software companies out there. So you're starting to see AI all over. I'm looking at an AI software that I use on Zoom now called Fathom. Have you heard about this?
No, this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Okay, so I just started using it like in the last week, and essentially it looks like its own user in your Zoom call, and I couldn't use it because you're the host. So I hate you. I hate you for not making me the host, but it listens to your call and then it can give you a summary of the meeting at the end of the call. And it's a great summary. I've been pleasantly surprised by the summary. So again, if you're having a meeting and you want someone who wasn't there to know what happened, AI gets you the summary. You can kick the summary out. You could also use the summary, like in this sense that we're doing content, use the summary as a description for the episode. What did we talk about, Christian? Well, let's just get the summary from the AI. We don't need to write that. I mean, I think wild. The people who really crack this and like who figure out how to use it and adopt it, I think they're going to be light years ahead of
everybody else.
Yeah.
Wild. We need to do like 10 more episodes about AI, in my opinion.
I do. This was a fun conversation, and there's a lot more 100%. I can talk about. Yeah.
I want to be respectful of your time. I hate to cut the conversation short because I'm loving it and enjoying it, but I think the next 10 Taco Tuesdays need to be about AI. So like if you're not into AI and you're listening to this, might as well go find another show.
Unsubscribe. Hit the unsubscribe button.
No, I think it's wild to think about the possibilities. And for me, it's about like trying to figure out how I can use it. And I'm learning more about it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, real quickly before we go, I wanted to just share my screen. This is an article I put on our website, our consumer website, this week, that was written by ChatGPT. And what we did internally was we went through and changed up the wording, took a few sentences out, replaced a few sentences, that kind of thing, to make it feel a little better. But I'd say didn't take long to get done. So this is an article about how to prevent Medicare fraud. So this is on our consumer website.
I mean, again, right off the bat, I'm not seeing anything that's like screaming a robot wrote this, you know?
Yeah. So I'll read a little bit of it for you guys that are listening to the audio version, right? It says, prevent Medicare fraud. Medicare can be a great resource and unique layer of protection for people over the age of 65 and with certain disabilities under the age of 65. Unfortunately, some shady characters or organizations may try to take advantage of you by committing Medicare fraud. When you have Medicare, it is important to protect yourself from these scams and tricksters. In this article, we will go down ways to prevent Medicare fraud and protect your personal information. Then there's a section that says, what is Medicare fraud? There's some bullet points on how to protect yourself. The bullet points are: keep your Medicare card secure, look your Medicare statements over often, be unique, be careful of unsolicited calls or home visits, check on providers and suppliers, be extra careful when providing your information, and report suspicious incidents. Like, I showed this to one of my team members internally. I had one of my team members look it over and change a few things here or there, just proofread it. And I had another one look it over, and they thought I wrote it. And I told them, I was like, yeah, I didn't write a word of it. And they were like, what? Like, it was surprising. So I think, this is an endless conversation. And I think we should just change the podcast to the AI podcast.
The AI insurance podcast.
Artificial intelligence in the insurance industry podcast.
I do think it's something, I mean, we kind of had a broad, and at the beginning of this episode, before we started recording, you guys, I mentioned ChatGPT just because, again, I had just played with it recently. And I thought, man, this is something relevant that we should talk about. But we'd already talked about AI in a broad sense. Shout out to the Patriot Robot Insurance Group. We're going to we need to make t-shirts for that, dude.
Patriot Robot Insurance Group. Comment that down below if you'd like to see some t-shirts on this video. Hashtag Patriot Robot Insurance Group. I want to see it pop up on Facebook, in the Facebook groups. Like, go into competitors' Facebook groups and do hashtag Robot Patriot Insurance, and don't give any explanation. Just post it.
I'd love to see someone use an AI tool that can create images and just say a robot that represents Robot Patriot Insurance Group. I'm seeing, like Futurama, I'm seeing like Bender, and he's holding like the American flag. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing I'm going to put a bounty out on, I will pay $100 to someone that can use an AI tool and morph me and Glenn's face together into one face.
God. We've got to stop this now before this gets out of control.
Putting a bounty out on, this needs to be had. And
it's like Goku combining with
Vegeta.
Yeah, with Vegeta.
And
Ultimate Super Saiyan.
Becoming Gogeta.
Gogeta.
And Vegito.
We just lost all of our subscribers. We just went to, there were 3 subscribers. We just went to.
ChatGPT is tracking it for us right now. It's like, I'm the only one listening right now.
You should not have mentioned Dragon Ball Z.
That is where you lost people. That is where you lost the audience.
You just lost 3 subscribers.
I don't care how much of the audience knows it. I'm going to go home tonight and watch season 1 all the way through.
Of course you will. Piccolo! Dude, wait till your daughter's a little older.
I'm going to force her to watch it. She'll be like, Dad, this old show is boring. I'm going to be like, shut up. Watch.
Daddy, Marvel didn't make this show. I don't want to watch it.
I'll be like, Marvel was inspired by this.
Why do you sound like Darth Sidious?
Because when I'm being firm with my child, I want them to get the feel you got when you heard Palpatine.
I'm scared. I'm gonna get electric force lightning right now. This turned into the nerd fest. I got the hiccups now. Oh, frick.
Guys, if you want to see more episodes like this, make sure you let us know about it by liking, commenting, subscribing, giving us a 5-star review on audio-only podcast platforms if you would. And we'll be back with more episodes. And we will definitely, I'm sure, be talking more about AI because it is the flavor of the week, as they say.
Yes, it is. Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, sell more insurance, eat more tacos.
At the same time.